Welcome, everybody, to the Soul of the Unexplained. I am your host, Jim Kelgard, and this is episode number 17 that we're kicking off today. And joining me, as always, is my always awesome co host, Mr. Rogelio Stokes. That's Roger for you folks that don't speak Espanol. But Roger, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Thank you for joining us for our episode. Super excited tonight. We have a very, very special guest, somebody that over the years has treated us really kind. And not only that, but she is an amazing individual. And so, what I'd like to do is introduce to you Bridget Lake. She's the Uintah Tourism and Events Assistant Director for Uintah County. And she is one of the people that really makes PhenomeCon an amazing place to be. So, with that introduction, Bridget, I'm going to turn the time over to you. Kind of just introduce again yourself and more specifically what you do for Uintah County.
Perfect. Well, thank you both for having me here, meeting with you guys tonight. You guys are always so much fun whenever you guys come to PhenomeCon in Vernal. And like Roger said, I work for the tourism office here in Vernal, so for the county. So our big push is to promote all the fun things that we have to do and see here. Whether that's paranormal or if that's going out on a hike or whitewater rafting. We have a lot of recreational opportunities here in the basin that people like to come and enjoy.
Right on. Tell us, just for the people that do like taking in hikes and some of the more popular spots that people may want to take a visit to. What would you say are maybe the top three or top four of some of the sites that are around Vernal and Uintah County that folks who may be coming in from PhenomeCon out of state or out of town might not even know is here, that if they have a couple extra days, in fact, I recommend they take a couple extra days to
So do I.
to see that beautiful countryside and to partake of some of that awesome small town atmosphere that is great and so great about Vernal. So tell us what would some of the top attractions for
Yeah.
Uintah County and the Vernal area be that you would recommend?
So we have Dinosaur National Monument that's here. It's about 15 minutes east of Vernal. It's a must-see. It has the Wall of Bones, which has like 2,000 dinosaur bones across the side. It's 2 stories. It's an amazing display of bones. And it's interactive. They have a kiosk there that you can push and it lights up and it tells you where all the dinosaurs are on that thing, on that wall. And then also it's unique because it's one of the only places that you can go and you can touch a real dinosaur bone. They have hikes there. They have an old homestead from Josie Morris, who was a very colorful personality. She was friends with the outlaws. She claimed that, Butch Cassidy didn't die in a gun shoot in Bolivia, that he actually came back and visited her at the homestead. And just a very interesting lady. We have many hikes. If you're into hiking, we have the Dinosaur Trackway hike. That's really fun. It's great in the summer. People like to hike it. It's about 2 miles round trip. It gets you to the edge of the water where there's some dinosaur tracks, and as a nice refreshing way, you can jump into the water. There's some cliff jumping that you can do right there that people love to do.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're into side-by-sides or OHV at all, we have a ton of trails, a lot of options, anything from a scenic drive to rock crawling. Whitewater rafting, we have that as well. Pretty much whatever you're interested in, we have here.
Awesome. And I always have to give a shout out to McConkey Ranch and the petroglyphs that are
Absolutely.
just
They're
there
fascinating.
on the outside of town as well. First time I've lived in Utah for 30 years now, and I'm kind of ashamed of myself that it took me, gosh, what was it, Raj? 2 years ago that we went to McConkey Ranch. So it
Yeah.
took me 28 years of living in Utah before I even knew that they were here, and it did not disappoint in the slightest. It's one of the
No.
most beautiful hikes to get up to the petroglyphs that are right up there on the cliffside. And of course, once you actually get to see those petroglyphs up close, it's really quite breathtaking. Really, really love it.
Well, and just so well preserved and such a unique panel. They're the Fremont Indians that have drawn those pictures on there, and they're actually so unique to our area that they call them the Vernal format because they have more dressings on them and the big headdresses. And so they're unique to our area, those kind of pictographs compared to like down in Salina where they have the Fremont State Park. Those ones are a little bit different, even though they're the same type of tribe.
Right, right. And there's all kinds of great fishing out there. I have to make mention of that. I've done some of my favorite trout fishing in all of the world is right there in Vernal's backyard. I mean, just it's some of the nicest trout I've ever caught are right out there in the area where you're at there, and of course not too far away from Vernal is also Flaming Gorge,
Which is
not
breathtaking.
which is absolutely. I mean the dam there at Flaming Gorge is really something to see, and yeah, if you want to just really try out one of the best trout streams in America, Flaming Gorge is kind of hard to beat.
Yeah, it's blue ribbon fishery right there. People come from all over just to fish those streams, and they're clear. Like you can see the fish
Yeah.
swimming downstream from them. It's pretty amazing.
Yep, absolutely. So tell us about what are some of the options that people have for, especially if they're coming in from out of town and they're not familiar with the area. What are some of the options that people have at their disposal as far as looking for places to stay if they want to come and visit Uintah County and coming to PhenomeCon?
Yeah, we have accommodations, camping. You can have dry camping. You can have camping with hookups. Our Red Fleet State Park is going under a remodel, and so they're going to have some little cottages that you can rent as well.
Oh,
The park
nice.
opens up in June, so it'll be brand new.
Oh, nice.
As far as hotels, we have anything from a motel to the Marriott level. So we have lots of options for any budget. So yeah, we just want you guys to come experience what we have out here.
Yeah, it's like I always tell anybody that ever asks me about my time out in Vernal or the times that I've gone to PhenomeCon, uh, what Vernal is like, because you don't really hear a lot about Vernal. When you hear about Utah, it's almost always the Wasatch Front, Salt Lake City, Utah
Moab.
County, and Moab, yeah, Zion National Park. But the way that I describe it to everybody is when I come into Vernal, whether it's for PhenomeCon or something else, there's just a real special atmosphere and vibe that Vernal has that is unlike any place else that I've been in Utah. And it's a little for me, it's a little slice of heaven. And Roger and I mentioned this in our episode that we just did with was it with Caleb? I think it might have been Raj, where I mentioned that I think that Vernal is like a little slice of heaven when you come to visit, and that's truly how Roger and I both feel about coming to Vernal. It's such a wonderful place.
Well, on our surveys that we had from last year's conference, it was mentioned multiple times how welcoming the town was, that they would go to a store and people would smile at them
Yeah,
and they would welcome them and they would say hi to them and greet them. And they just said, you have such a friendly community there in Vernal. And we're just so shocked by how well received we were. And they just loved it. It was really one of those like coming home feelings to a lot of people.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it's one of the things that makes Vernal so special. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Raj. Were you gonna?
Oh, yeah, no, I was just gonna say, so I was born and raised here in Utah, in Utah County, and I remember growing up as a kid. So my parents and my family, every year we would also, plan and make a trip to come up to Vernal specifically. And so I have really, really fond memories as a child, growing up into my adulthood, going to see Flaming Gorge, doing, the camping, the hiking, the fishing, going to the Dinosaur National Monument. So yeah, Vernal's always been a very special place for me just because I've made so many great memories there. And it's great that I can continue to do that, especially because now we have PhenomeCon there, which is an additional interest to me. So the paranormal, Bigfoot, all that type of thing. So yeah, I really look fondly on Vernal. And if you guys haven't been to Vernal yet, for anyone watching and our listeners, um, everything that Bridget said, everything that Jimm said is true. The townsfolk there are so nice. When Jimm and I have visited there, we get the locals that'll talk to us and ask us, hey, are you here for that PhenomeCon conference? And they're like, how's it going? And yeah, it's just great because it feels like a very, very just, I'm at home feeling. And even though you can be out of town, you just get that vibe where it's like, you're welcomed here. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. So very, very much appreciate the people and townsfolk of Vernal and everybody who works there and can make this possible.
Right on. And I got to give a special shout out to some of the amazing restaurants. Let's talk about the food options that you have there in Vernal. I mean, some of the best food that I've had in the last couple of years has come from Vernal Brewing Company. I mean, I had tacos there last year when I went to a dinner or a lunch
Yeah.
that Caleb and Dragon were having there, and I ordered some tacos that were some of the best tacos I've ever had. And folks know that I'm a taco guy. I mean, I'm all about tacos. In fact, that's like, my name is synonymous with tacos. But some of the best restaurants, I mean, Swain Brothers and so many other great local restaurants can be found right there in Vernal, as well as, obviously a lot of the well-known franchises like McDonald's and Burger King and so on and so forth. But there's literally something for everybody to be found in Vernal. And Roger and it's not at all an exaggeration for me to say that our calendar year revolves around going out to PhenomeCon now, and we absolutely love it. It's gotten to the point to where we've made so many friends and made so many connections at PhenomeCon that it's like going to a family reunion. You only get to see some of these
Right.
people in person once a year, and it's just such a wonderful atmosphere, such a wonderful feeling, and I cannot overstate or oversell that enough. I mean, I Roger and I we just love coming to PhenomeCon. So, speaking of PhenomeCon, that is why we're here. So let's dive into PhenomeCon 2024, and coming up on September 4th through September 7th is PhenomeCon, and this is the conference's fourth year. Is that
Fourth year.
fourth
Yeah.
year? Yeah. Right on. So again, big applause to you
Thank you.
and to
Thank you guys
Leisha
for
and to
coming and
everybody.
supporting it.
Yes, absolutely. We've been coming from since the first year, and we just can't imagine not doing PhenomeCon. It's just something we look forward to so much. So tell us about what are some of the fun and exciting things that are in store for PhenomeCon 2024? What kind of details can you share with us?
Well, we have some great speakers that are going to be coming. Again, I mean, we always have great caliber speakers that are on the top of the research and the forefront of what's going on in the news and on this genre. So we always try to look for great speakers, and we have some really great ones already on the schedule. And we're waiting on for some confirmations from some other ones, but we're excited for what we have. We're going to have the Skinwalker Ranch team coming back. They're always really popular. This last season has been really exciting, is what I've heard. And so I think that's going to be exciting to see what they have to say on the panel and their behind the scenes dinner that we'll have on Thursday night. There will be a rocket launch with them. I don't know if you guys participated in that last year, but they shoot these rockets out. They're like the ones that you see on TV. People can take little trinkets and put it inside the rocket, and it shoots it up, and you go chase it. And they tell you about the whole science of why they're doing that. We're going to have a remote viewing workshop.
Nice.
That one hasn't been added yet to the registration site, but look for that. That's going to be coming out We have a lot of VIP dinners and lunches available. We have a hike. So this year, instead of hiking to McConkey Ranch, we're going to actually be hiking to McKee Springs, which is about 30 minutes from here. Same kind of style of petroglyphs, just at a different location. And the hike is going to be a little less intense. It's pretty direct. We've taken kids up there before and it hasn't been a problem. But the artwork itself is amazing. The view is pretty. It's in a very picturesque area. It's where a lot of our rafters put in to go down the Whitewater to go into the monument to Split Mountain. So it's a really pretty area. What other exciting things do we have? We have the behind the scenes.
Yeah, we have to talk about the behind the scenes dinner, but also one of my favorite activities, the voice of the
Oh,
believers.
yes.
Tell
So
us,
Friday
tell
night
us
we
about that.
have the Voices of Believers.
Mhm.
And so that will be at the Remember the Main Park. It's dinner. And then it's kind of like this open mic night where people are able to tell their experiences in a non-judgmental environment where you can tell, you know, what you've experienced or what you've heard, and you're not going to be criticized or no one's going to look at you like you have a third eye. And it's just a really cool night. It's really popular and it sells out. So if you're wanting it, don't wait on adding that to your registration because it will sell out.
Yeah,
And the
get
food is
that as
good.
quickly as possible. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to. I mean, for starters, the location where they hold the Voice of the Believers, the park that it's in is right up against some of the most beautiful red rock, and it's just really a stunning setting, first of all. But then the food, oh my gosh, uh the Dutch oven barbecue, oh gosh, it's just
They do a
it's a
fantastic job.
they really do. And I'm generally not much of a dessert guy, and for the last couple of years that they've done this, I've always made sure to save room for the homemade cobbler that they have. They have like 4 or 5 different kinds of cobbler, like a homemade peach cobbler and apple and cherry and raspberry. I mean, it's just, oh, good night. And it's, served with like this delicious vanilla bean ice cream, and it's
And it's
just,
hot when they give it
yeah,
to you. Like you can
Yeah.
tell, like it's just
exactly.
fresh.
It could not be. I think for me, it's. I mean, all of PhenomeCon is a tremendous value for what you get, but that Voice of the Believers is, to me, that's the one event that I always make sure that I go to, because it's unlike any of the other events that they have at PhenomeCon. Because, like you said, Bridget, it's an opportunity where you have this open mic, and you get people that are absolutely terrified of sharing their experience in almost any other setting, because you never know how people are going to react and respond. And we've had some really phenomenal stories that have been shared with us, and experiences that have been shared with us the last several years that they've had this wonderful event. And one of my favorite ones is Daryl Wilson. He was one of the guys that was a presenter there at the first PhenomeCon, I think, and he's a Sasquatch experiencer, and he's listening to his stories and his experience is just one of those things that I've looked forward to every year. And but that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg. You get people that talk about their experiences with hauntings or ghosts and things like that. You get people that have had UFO or UAP encounters. Uh, I believe 2 years ago we had the first time that somebody was actually recounted an incident where they were abducted by a UFO, and that was the first time I'd ever met or heard a firsthand testimony of somebody that had gone through something like that. So it really is. It's become, I think, probably my favorite event out of all the events at PhenomeCon is that Voice of the Believers dinner, because you get a wonderful dinner that alone is worth the price of admission. But then the beautiful setting that it's in, and the fact that you all get around this amazing campfire, and it reminds me of what's great about being in the American West. Truly,
Right. It definitely has that feel.
yeah,
So going back with your experiences, if you don't feel comfortable sharing your story or you don't have a story to share, don't feel like you can't go to this event. Like
right.
anyone is welcome to go. Um, it's fascinating just to go and to listen and to hear what people are sharing, but don't feel like you have to have something to contribute to be able to go, because we definitely want it to go to everybody. Even just you being there to be supportive is a big win.
Yep,
Um,
absolutely. And Roger, I know you have some of your own experiences from that Voice of the Believers dinner.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So every year that I've been there, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make last year due to my mom passing away. But every year I've had the opportunity just to share some of my own experiences, and it's so nice to just be able to talk about that in like the open mic, and it's been, as I've shared that experiences talking with people after, and then following up a year later about what's happened since then. It's just really good. It's a great way to meet very like-minded people. And as both of you mentioned, that it's a judgment-free zone, which is great. And that's why I feel super comfortable in sharing. And yeah, both Jimm and I have made some really good friends through the Voice of the Believer. And again, it's like if you enjoy the outdoors, you enjoy kind of like just as the sun is setting and you love that good food, and you know come and listen to these great stories. People definitely share a lot of different experiences, and it's great. It's fun to sit back and listen to experiences that people have had where I enjoy a good ghost story, and some people have some pretty scary stuff that happened to them. So yeah,
and
I can't recommend that the Voice of the Believers mic open mic night. It's amazing.
you just never know what the next person is going to talk
It's
about.
true. It's true.
The location is stunning. Like Jimm said, it's this 300-foot red cliff that you're looking at that has an American flag that was hand painted. It's just gorgeous. It's just down the canyon from McConkey Ranch. And one of the reasons we picked that location was also because it has a high paranormal aspect to it as well. So when you're looking forward, you're looking at that cliff, but behind you is some trees, like a little wooded area, and then it leads to the stream. Uh, there's been reports of people hearing drums when they're there, that they can hear drums and they go to find where this drum noise is going, and they can't find it. Um, there's been people that have reported like time loss there, that they've gone and followed some lights, and the next thing they know, it's like 3 hours later, and they're missing this chunk of time. So we thought, what a perfect setting that would be to have this dinner. Not only is it gorgeous, but it also has that link to paranormal hotspot.
Absolutely. And I can attest that it's a place that's known for things disappearing, like the food on my plate. It disappears just like that every single
Just like
time.
that.
But no, seriously, folks, it is for me and for Roger. It's one of the marquee events of PhenomeCon, and if you have the means and the opportunity to get in on it, sign up for it quick and get in on it, because it's something you will not regret in the slightest.
Yeah.
So let's talk about now. You're getting ready to before we start talking about the Voice of the Believers, we were going to talk about the behind the scenes dinner. So there's a couple of those that are offered at PhenomeCon, correct?
Usually, yeah. Currently, we only have the Skinwalker behind the scenes dinner on Thursday. We're working on a couple other big things, so hopefully I can have those out to you guys soon. But for right now, we have the behind the scenes dinner. That'll be Thursday.
Right on. And that's another one that Roger and I can attest to is well worth the time and the money as an add-on activity. Because with the Skinwalker Ranch one, of course, Roger and I are huge fans and supporters of Skinwalker Ranch. We're both Skinwalker Ranch insiders, Roger and I. But we love the VIP behind the scenes dinner because you get to go inside the main ballroom of the conference center and you have this absolutely delicious meal that is prepared for you. And they always come up with the coolest desserts. Like the last couple of years, they've had like the gingerbread cookies that are, you know, with an alien's head, and we just
I look like the aliens. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
some kind of paranormal dessert.
yeah, some kind of paranormal themed dessert. And then of course, as we're having dinner, it's a great way to, you know, socialize with fellow conference goers. And of course, up on the main stage is where you have the cast of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. And for the last couple years, all of them have been there. Dr. Travis Taylor, Eric Bard, Caleb and Dragon and Thomas. Last year, I believe they were joined by Jay Stratton as well, which was really cool. And you just kind of, what they do is they pick an episode and they kind of give you an analysis of the various episodes that occurred during whatever the most recent season. So of course, this next one we presume it will be season 5 that they'll be talking a little bit about. And it's really neat because they give you some really cool insights about what goes on that maybe happened off camera, or some of the things that didn't make it to the you know, to the final cut of the episodes when they aired on the History Channel. So it's really cool. It's really casual. It's really fun and lighthearted. And again, if you're a fan of Skinwalker Ranch, and last year they had some other ones as well, and for the sake of preservation, I won't mention who those other dinners were, because I don't want to talk about things that haven't been confirmed yet. But same kind of thing. These are great opportunities. You have some of the popular shows that are out there in the realm of, you know, say Skinwalker Ranch, or you know, the cryptids or hauntings and things like that. So some of the more high profile names and shows that are out there, or docu series, I guess we should call them, you get an opportunity to attend one of these dinners and have the cast there, and it's really cool because you get up close and personal with them. And it's just, it makes for a great evening of laid back fun and entertainment. And Roger and I have done the Secret of Skinwalker Ranch every year that we've attended, and we're gonna do it this year. And it's another thing that we look forward to very, very much, for sure.
Yeah, it's a very popular event. People love like knowing more of what's actually happening on that episode, you know, because they film so much material, but they have to cut it down to just, you know, an hour, 45 minutes, and there's just no way that they can get it all in there. So it's really fascinating when they tell you more of what you're missing is actually this happened. And then they let you ask questions, and they're really engaging. They're a very engaging team.
Right.
So it's fun having them there. We also are going to have Russ Cord and Dr. Maria Mayer
Oh,
coming back.
nice.
So they're
Nice.
going to have a VIP meal. You can talk Sasquatch with them, or Bigfoot hunting. Who else? We have the ghost hunters are coming, so you can go ghost hunting. We still have some availability, so those don't all sell out with the VIP tickets. So get on tonight when they open up, because they
Eh,
will sell out.
Is that is Dave Schrader coming back? Is that one of
Dave
the names that I
Schrader is
saw?
coming back. Yeah, he does a fantastic job. His stories are
He
always,
he was one of the most enjoyable speakers last year at PhenomeCon. He has such a great sense of humor. He's so witty, and
yes.
just a great all around guy. So if you have folks, if you have an opportunity to attend any events that are hosted by Dave Schrader, cannot recommend them highly enough. He was a lot of fun to sit and listen to, and one of the people that I'm excited to see this year at PhenomeCon as well. And
Yeah,
I and
he
I
is a great presenter, like such a good storyteller, and his voice changes and he brings the audience in.
yep.
You won't be disappointed by his presentation at all.
Yeah.
And there is a VIP dinner with him that's available, or is it a lunch? There's a meal with him anyways. Check the registration. Um, yeah, great guy. You'll have a good time with him.
So can you tell us a little bit about what some of you mentioned the ghost hunting stuff, and can you talk a little bit about what some of those events in the past have been like?
Yeah, so in the past, they've gone to the primary place that they like to go to is the Hotel Vernal, which is an old abandoned hotel on Main Street that is very active with ghosts. That's usually where they get the most interaction. So they'll go there, they'll set up their equipment. They have all the equipment, cameras and voice boxes and different things. And it starts at 9 o'clock and goes till about 11 o'clock. And they always come back with a good time. They always have a story about, hearing a voice or, actually, they showed their video the last couple of years of their research that they did, like of one of their ghost hunts. So you might be able to find that on YouTube as well. Their Cypress Paranormal Research is the team that does that. And they do a great job. People love it. Because of the delicacy of the environment, and you can't have too big of a crowd. The numbers are limited on ghost hunts.
Right.
So keep that in mind. Like, we want everybody to experience it, but it's just not practical when you have too many people, brings more noise and more interference with equipment. So they try to keep the groups smaller so that they can have that contained better. But they've gone there, they've gone to a couple locations on Main Street before, and they've, had Olivia the ghost that came and talked to them and told them their name. And so this year, we're looking at a couple new locations. They might end up still at the hotel, but we are looking at a couple new locations as well for that.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's great. And just from the information on the phenomicon.net website, for that downtown ghost hunt, it looks like it's available, a group available Wednesday night, the 4th, Thursday night, the 5th, and Friday night, the 6th. So 3 opportunities to sign up and experience that.
Yeah, I think when I looked last, it was only Thursday that might be available.
That might be available from, okay.
Yeah, so when you go into your registration, you'll be able to see like which days are still have availability, because they are very popular and we can't have too many people on those, so they go really fast.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So is there one of the other things that Roger and I have enjoyed the last couple of times that you've held PhenomeCon has been the PhenomeCon Film Festival. Has always been a thing to look forward to. And is there any intention to do another one of those this year?
Yeah, so we will have the film festival again on Wednesday night. So we'll
Okay.
have the opening reception, we'll have some refreshments there and some drinks. And then you'll be able to go into 3 different rooms and watch um, some different documentaries on different subjects.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
That was so much fun. We had a lot of fun
Yeah.
attending some of those films, and in fact that's one of the features that Roger and I are going to start implementing here on the Soul of the Unexplained. Is we're going to start doing reviews of some of the
Oh,
documentaries
cool.
that some of which have we saw at PhenomeCon, and some that have debuted elsewhere. But we're looking to add another level of what we can do to help get the word out about some of the great things that are shown and featured at PhenomeCon. And so some of those documentaries that you guys have featured there are stuff that Roger and I are going to be talking about, little segments here and there between now and when September rolls around. So we're looking forward to that too.
We try to have the filmmakers there, so they can introduce their film and then afterwards have a Q&A about their film and any reactions that you have. That's always a fun aspect to it as well, that you're able to actually see the producer and sometimes the cast that were able to make this film possible.
Right. Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. I mean, Roger, I think the first time that we went was the second year of PhenomeCon, right? That was when Russ Acord
Yeah.
had his
Had
little
his animation.
about Bob Gimlin. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that was really cool. I loved how you guys did that outdoors at the place
Yeah.
just across the street there. That was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that. And let's talk about the PhenomeCon opening reception and of course the closing reception. Kind of nice
Closing
little.
reception is always a party. You have to make sure to stay for that. Like,
Yes.
we have the refreshments, we have this giant charcuterie board, and then we have hot refreshments or appetizers with that. We have desserts. It's
Mhm.
so the food for one is worth staying, but then
Oh
we also
yes.
have a great DJ that provides us with killer music, and we just, let loose. If you feel like dressing up, we have a costume contest. That's always fun.
Mhm.
And it's just a last hurrah of the conference. It's definitely worth staying though for.
Roger, I think this year we should dress as those two guys from the Soul of the Unexplained. What do you think?
They're super popular. We
Creepy.
got to do it.
Do you think I could pass for that weird guy with the cowboy hat though? I mean, I don't
Most
know.
definitely, most definitely.
Right on. No, like Bridget says, the food that is served at both the opening and the closing reception for PhenomeCon is really they really pull out all the stops for it. It's fantastic. Uh, I'm pretty easy to please. I like a really good veggie tray with some cheese options and maybe some crackers here and there, and you get all that and so much more. And unless I'm mistaken,
Yeah.
the access to the opening and closing reception is included in the 4-day PhenomeCon pass, right? Is that
So it's
correct?
included with any pass that you get. So if you
Any
just
pass?
get
Okay.
Wednesday, you can come to the opening reception, or if you get the Saturday only, you can still stay for the closing reception.
And
Yeah.
it's definitely worth doing that. Last year was great because for the first time, all the Skinwalker Ranch guys showed up at the closing reception. It was great watching Dragon busting a move out there. It was great to kind of see them cutting loose
Yeah.
and mingling with the crowd out there. So
That's really something that's unique about this conference is how approachable our speakers are, that you have the ability to see them, not just at their booth or not just when they're at the podium, but you can see them, walking the halls, or we have free pictures that you can go. We have times that are assigned, and we have them on a board that says, hey, you can go back and get a picture with so and so at 2 o'clock. And not a lot of conferences let you have that experience where that Travis will be at the back room at 2 o'clock and that you'll be able to take a picture with him,
right.
and that it doesn't cost anything additional.
Yeah. Yeah. That's again just one of the many things that sets PhenomeCon above so many of the other similar events that are held with this broad ranging topic of the paranormal. It just really speaks to how great of a job and how much thought and dedication you and your team have put into organizing this, heading into its fourth year. And
With year.
just amazing. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but it really is, folks. It really is something special that they've organized out there for PhenomeCon. So
We've had people come that say, like, we came, we weren't sure what we were going to expect. We're in Vernal, we're in the rural area, so they just don't know what to expect. But we have the state of the art conference center. It's gorgeous, like beautiful rooms, beautiful lighting. The technology is great. Like it's stunning when you go in there. Like you're not expecting that. But then to have this speakers that we have, the caliber of speakers and the add-on activities, you just don't get those from other conferences. And so when people come and they're not sure, and then they're like, oh my goodness, like you have all of this and then some. And they're like, we'll be back. Like, we've already made our reservations for next year. And I love that. I love when people are able to have a good time and that they experience a little bit of Vernal.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember, Bridget, but the first year when Roger and I went, we weren't sure what to expect, and so we didn't book the opportunity to
Oh,
stay
right.
for all 4 days, and it ended up where we ended up staying clear up until you're still doing some sessions of speakers on Sunday mornings, and so Roger and I we stuck around as long as we could, and we promised ourselves that the next year that we went, we were going to stay for all 4 days and just try to get as much out of it as we could. Because for me, I was never really, I've always had a passing interest in things that are paranormal. I'd always had a passing interest in UFOs, UAPs, and things like that. But the notion of for me of attending a conference like this was fraught with so much stigma. It's like you hear about the tinfoil hat, cuckoos and whatnot. And so I was afraid, gosh, Roger, are we going to run into, people that are like that are going to be so far out in left field, that they don't know where to begin or end. And I'm happy to say that we encountered none of that stuff. And for somebody like me who was not really sure whether or not this was the right kind of thing for me to spend my time and money doing, it's one of the best choices I've ever made. I mean, truly, it changed my life, and I'll tell you why. It's done it on many levels, but one of my one of the things that really had a profound impact on me was this last year, and there was a sunrise meditation that was offered by Melissa Winterton, who of course is the wife of Thomas Winterton, the manager at Skinwalker Ranch, and she her sunrise meditation just was exactly what I was looking for to help me find a way to get some balance back between my mind and my body. And it literally set me on the path of finding and restoring some balance that had been missing in my life. And that was something that I got out of PhenomeCon this last time that will stay with me for the rest of my life, because she taught me how to unlock some of the things that allow me to, find that place within my headspace, within my heart, or within my, soul, my consciousness, whatever you want to call it. And it has such a lasting and profound impact on me. And it literally it changed my life. It made me more calm and more relaxed, because leading up to that, I had just gone through the death of both of my parents, and I was charged with having to take care of their estate, which is a whole other load of stress on top of the dealing with the loss of my parents. And then just it helped me kind of unbridle myself from all that turmoil and angst and anxiety that I'd been carrying around when I did that little simple meditation that Melissa taught, and it had such a big impact. And so my secret hope is that they do another one, that she does another one this year, because that's another event that I would sign up for in a heartbeat, because it was really, really, truly something special that changed my life in a very positive way. And another way that this conference has really changed my life is it's brought me in contact with so many wonderful people that have now become very dear, very close friends, many of whom I met for the first time just last year. And I'm kind of bummed out that Roger wasn't there to meet some of the same people, but he will this year. And it's just really this conference. I kind of touched on it at the beginning of the interview, where I said that in some ways it's almost like a family reunion, because whenever you're somebody who's had an experience, and that experience can be anything from a ghost sighting, or a Sasquatch sighting, UFO, UAP, what have you, and once you cross that threshold from being, just a believer, which is to say, oh, I believe such things might be possible, versus somebody who has actually had an experience, it's something that changes you at a very fundamental level. You are no longer the same person, after you've had one of these experiences. And of course, the rest of the world, a lot of the world is going to say, well, no, you didn't really experience what you thought you experienced. It's just, you were seeing things, or it was just a trick of the mind. It was an illusion, or, you were just really, having a very lucid dream kind of thing. And when you're actually the person who experiences those things, it has such a deep, lasting impact on you. And that's what I had my very first ever paranormal experience last year before PhenomeCon. And I actually talked about it for the first and only time in public, before or since, at that Voice of the Believers last year. And let me tell you, I was terrified. I was terrified to share that experience because, again, I come from that background of, I'm very guarded about personal experiences and things like that. But when you attend these events like the Voice of the Believers dinner, or just simply PhenomeCon, and you strike up a conversation with people, and you start finding out that, hey, here's somebody who had an experience, who lived through the same kind of thing that I did. And maybe it's not 100% exactly to what my unique experience was, but still it's an opportunity for people that have experienced things that are truly unexplained, or
Oh,
that
and
defy logic. And it's that thing that brings those people together at PhenomeCon. And to that end, it's also something that has profoundly positively impacted my life, and made my life a lot better because of PhenomeCon. So hats off to you and Leisha and Quinn and
hey,
everybody.
thank you. That reminded me when you said you were sharing it and you might not have the same experience that the other person has, but you might have something similar. Kind of reminded me of what Dave Schrader said in his presentation last year about was it the guy in the closet? Do you remember what I'm talking about? That people are sharing these experiences and they think that they're the only ones, and so that they're
Right,
not telling the experience. And then they find out that there's been these reports
right.
all over the country, all over the world, with the same experiences. And they're saying, like, thank you for sharing this story because I thought I was going crazy. Um, so just thought that was a fascinating approach to it, that if you're if you share it, like, you don't know, that other person might have that same experience and just be waiting to hear from your side as well.
Exactly. And that's what it was for me, because you and of course I can only speak from my side of it, but I drew strength and courage listening to the accounts and encounters and experiences of other people that were speaking at the Voice of the Believers, or from other presenters at the conference whose presentations I listened to. And it's something that helped me to break down that wall of defense. I mean, I come from New York, where we're famous for building up, putting up those walls to keep people at arm's length. And so the whole concept was very new to me, of being able to find something to do that in that kind of an environment. And it is very reassuring to know that there is other people out there. You're not the only one that has had weird and unexplained things happen to them. And it doesn't make you odd or weird, or or an outcast, which is what a lot of mainstream society has conditioned us to believe these things, that, oh, they're going to think I'm nuts, they're going to
Doesn't
think
go
I'm
in the
crazy.
box, so we can't
Exactly, it doesn't
believe it.
fit into that neat little box. And that's what's so great about PhenomeCon, is that there is no box. And it's one of the things I love about it.
Yes, like, people just have more of an open mind. The people that come there, they're not closed off to the belief that there could be something else out there, so they're just more open. So if you tell them an experience, they might, like, oh yeah, I've heard of that before, or I've actually experienced that. It's a really cool environment, though, to be
Right.
in. You
Absolutely.
can go as a skeptic, and then you are going to walk away as a believer. Like,
It's what happened with me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely what happened with me. Yep.
you're not the only one. I've heard it from multiple people saying, they just didn't know what to expect. Kind of the same thing. What kind of people are going to be there? We have professionals that are coming. I mean, the people that are coming themselves, like well-educated people that are highly trained in their like careers and their professions. And we're not talking about tinfoil conspiracy theory people um
Like
so
the
don't be
people I was
scared.
afraid
Like
of.
don't be scared. Like come try it out. Like you're gonna have a good time.
Absolutely. Roger, I know you have kind of some of the same feelings, and that the impact that PhenomeCon's had on you was not too dissimilar from mine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had paranormal experiences my whole life, and it's not something that I share with very many people, at least up to this point. And I think PhenomeCon for me was that turning point. And really, after that first year and talking with Jimm and really deciding like, man, that was like for me, it was the first conference that I had been to on the subject, and it was great. And I actually felt like, wow, I can share some of my past experiences. Because having shared that in the past, ever since I was a kid growing up, people would look at me like, you're making it up, you're weird, they give you that strange look. And um, I mean, yes, I am strange, I am weird, but I love it. And PhenomeCon, it really did change just my attitude about not caring about what other people think, but knowing that like-minded people will take courage and strength in some of the things that I share. And right, they'll be able to, in their own way, you know, share their experiences. And then they can come here and learn from the experts in the field, all things paranormal. And it's really great because I've made some really, really good friends over the years. Jimm and I both have. And, it is a conference that, um, as Jimm stated, and he definitely states it more eloquently than I do, but it's an
Verbose and loquacious. I talk too much.
you're good. But yeah, I mean, I can't recommend it highly enough, Bridget, because it is truly a unique experience, and it's a very positive experience, and people are great, and you learn so much. And I think one of the things that every year, it's that last day is, everything's wrapping up. You feel a little bit of that sadness because you're not going to see these people again until, the
Another
following
year.
year.
Yeah.
But it makes you excited because, this is something that Jimm and I, we look forward to. And, I think especially this is the fourth year, right? Like it just keeps growing and more people are looking forward to it. And it's such a great area where Vernal's located. It's scenic, it's beautiful. There's so much to do around there. And the city of Vernal is great. The conference center is amazing, like you stated before, state of the art, and everything is just it's a wonderful experience. And I've been to many different conferences over the years for a variety of different reasons, whether it's for work or for personal. And I have to say, PhenomeCon is hands down one of the best shows out there that has been put together. And you can tell, with you and your team and everybody that is presenting there, that this is a well thought out process. It's worth the money. You do get the value. And again, I can't recommend it highly enough for people.
Here,
Thanks,
here,
Roger. Thanks, Jimm.
here. Yeah, it's what more can I say that hasn't already been said, except for food trucks and tacos. Please tell me you guys are going to have the food trucks and the taco truck back.
Yes, we will
Yes.
have all sorts of food trucks, the taco truck. We'll have a coffee vendor there. There was a lot of requests for coffee. Last year we had a vendor, but they weren't able to make it last year. But we have one secured for this year, so there will be coffee and ice drinks as well. So it's gonna
Nice.
be great. Yeah, and the food trucks are just right outside that main entrance, so they're easy to get to. So you can do food trucks, you can run into town and go to Vernal Brewing, get one of their tacos there or their hamburgers. They have a garden off to the side of their building that they get their own like produce.
Right.
So it's fresh and great. Swain Brothers is not too far away. It's a steakhouse. The T-Rex nachos are super
Yes.
good.
Nice.
And then we have, of course, like Antica Forma, Neapolitan pizzas that are delicious. You have Plaza Mexicana. They have great tacos and fajitas and their cabbage salsa. They'll bring it to your table when you sit down. It's so good.
Cabbage salsa. That's a new one. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they bring you like your salsa, but then you also get like a cabbage um,
Nice.
salsa, like it's cabbage and jalapenos and stuff. It's good.
My curiosity has definitely been piqued. Right on. Well, we again we're so looking forward to seeing you in September, Bridget, and Roger and I. We usually about a week or so before PhenomeCon, we do another episode where it's kind of like a PhenomeCon primer, where Roger and I go down who all the different presenters are and kind of let people know this is what we're looking forward to, and just kind of another thing to help get the hype going. But we're going to keep
Yeah.
the hype going for PhenomeCon all year up until the day that we get there. And last year when we were there, I did little video snippets reporting from PhenomeCon, just kind of letting people know what was on the docket for that day. That we got a lot of interaction from. So we're looking forward to doing that again, and just anything that Roger and I can do by way of the Soul of the Unexplained to help get the word out about what a tremendous and, forgive me, phenomenal time. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. But we love PhenomeCon. Anything we can do to help spread the word about PhenomeCon, and of course how beautiful of a town Vernal is. We're it's all something that's very near and dear to our hearts. So thank you so much again for joining us, Bridget. Anything else that we may have forgotten or left out? Any
Just a
little
reminder, like tickets go on sale tonight. Well, actually, technically tomorrow morning, but
March 1st.
12:01 a.m. tonight. So
Mountain
March
time?
1st, Mountain Time.
Yeah.
So any add-on activities that we had when the VIP tickets came available, if we have any available, like 12:01 is your best opportunity to get those. The Ghost Hunter, the VIP dinners with some of our speakers that we have out there. But we're just so excited to have you guys come and attend the conference. So our web address is www.phenomecon.net, and you can find like the add-on activities. We'll have our speakers listed soon with the schedule. You can find hotel information, airport information, all of that stuff will be on that website. So it'll be a great resource to keep following and to check up for updates. And then to make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for conference updates.
And use that hashtag PhenomeCon 2024.
Yes, please.
Right on. Alrighty, and just this just entered into my mind here. What if what are there? I've seen some people that have been saying that there's other outlets that have been selling PhenomeCon tickets. That's just absolutely not true, folks.
Those are scammers. Yeah.
Beware of scammers or anybody that says, "Hey, I've got your."
Well, so we had the VIP tickets. This is our first year doing VIP tickets. Every year we try to improve, try to do something different. We're constantly learning. So this year we decided to do VIP tickets. They were a limited number and they sold out within an hour. Like it was madness.
Yep.
So I made a post that said tickets are already sold out. And within instant of making that post, people were commenting and saying, I have 4 tickets. I have 4 tickets. And it was almost the same dialect on each one or verbiage on each one. And those were not true.
Right.
Do not buy tickets from people that you don't know. if they had 4 extra tickets, they could have easily gotten a refund, but those, and I even looked like on like the registration site, like if there was 4 gyms, for example, there wasn't. They were just scammers. And so they've all been removed from the site. I can't say that there won't be more, but we are actively watching that, and hoping to not have that problem again.
Yeah, we're hoping it continues to go smoothly for you guys as well.
Thank you.
Soon as I saw some of those scammers pop up, I was like, "Mm." So, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, there's some people that are, just contemplating coming to PhenomeCon the first time, and hopefully nobody's taken in by some of that those would-be fraudsters out there.
Right. Hopefully not. Hopefully everybody recognized, like, how are all these people having the same amount of extra tickets? And then when you
Right.
click on their profile, there's nothing there. There's nothing extra. So those accounts probably weren't created only within like the last day or something.
Right.
Uh, don't buy from them. Contact us if you have problems. Um, you can email us at vernalphenomicon@gmail.com. We'll try to help you with whatever you need. If you want to be put on a wait list, um, if the VIP dinner that you're wanting with Travis Taylor is sold out, email us, ask to be on that wait list. We'll put you on that wait list. If something comes available, we'll get you on there. But don't buy something from somebody on the internet claiming that they have a ticket.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Phenomicon.net is the website address, folks. And as Bridget said, you can find PhenomeCon on Facebook as well, and they post fairly often on that. It's a great way to keep up with any news that comes out regarding PhenomeCon. And
Absolutely.
of course, the Soul of the Unexplained will also be always talking about the new updates. And whenever new speakers are added to PhenomeCon, you can be sure that Roger and I will be sharing that information on the Soul of the Unexplained Facebook page as well. So with that, folks, if you like what you've seen here for this particular episode or any of our other previous content, please hit that subscribe button down there somewhere and hit the notification bell. Every time we have new content, you'll be notified whenever Roger and I have a new episode, like this wonderful conversation that we had with Bridget. And until next time, folks, Roger and I will be coming back next month in March, which actually March is tomorrow, isn't it? Holy cow.
It is.
We're already 3 months into the year. How about that? We've got, of course, the exciting episode coming up on shadow people. And we're also going to have Mr. Chris Bartell, former security officer at Skinwalker Ranch, among other cool things, will be coming up in March as well. So stay tuned, folks. And again, Bridget, thank you so much for joining us today for this wonderful conversation about PhenomeCon. I'm sure that we'll have you on again at some time in the not too distant future, and we certainly look forward to seeing you at PhenomeCon. And Raj, I'll give you a chance to say hey.
Yes. Everyone, thank you again. Thank you, Bridget, for taking your time to talk to not only Jim and I, but to all of our listeners. We are super, super excited for PhenomeCon 2024. And yes, we hope that all of you have a fantastic evening. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.